Like every couple with kids face, the question comes up, should you fight in front of the kids? Well, it turns out, at least according to one study, that a healthy dose of arguing can actually be good for the little ones. Joining us this morning to talk more about that, Rick Brown, therapist and relationship expert. Great to see you, Rick. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right, so let's talk first of all about this study. What did you think about it?
Well, I think you have to make a distinction between fighting and actually disagreeing in front of your children. I think it's a healthy thing for children to see parents work out their disagreements and things they don't necessarily feel the same on, but it's never okay to be fighting in front of your children.
Okay, so let's talk about the difference here, because some people might not know. You know, one person, especially in a you know, when you've got the Mars versus Venus thing going on, where the man might be raising his voice and arguing loudly, where you know how it is. You sort of wonder, is there a way to fight right?
Well, one thing to remember about children are like sponges, and they just will absorb the tension in the room. So if you are raising your voices and arguing in such a way, those children will actually respond to that. In fact, the interesting study done in which children who are actually asleep, if they hear their parents' voices being raised, they can actually begin to have stress reactions while they're asleep. So they don't even know what you're talking about. It's the intensity of the voice that's really causing some problems.
All right, so what about the opposite effect? What about when mom and dad are giving each other the silent treatment and not speaking to each other? Yeah,
that's just as unhealthy. Kids really need to see parents work together in solving issues, disagreements, things they might not always see eye to eye on. But what I think the healthiest thing you can do is, if you're in that kind of place with your partner, to actually try to find a place where you can validate and agree that your partner makes sense, that they're really not crazy, and that will be the quickest way to find a way for them to begin to hear you in terms of what's important to you.
And then should you have a follow-up discussion with the kids to explain to them what's going on? How do you follow up with the kids?
Well, I think if you sense that the child feels some uncomfortableness, you can clearly go to them and just check in with how they're feeling. Are you okay? Was that troublesome to you? Did it seem to bother you? But more importantly, kids need to see parents actually come to some resolution together. They can actually work through their differences together. That's an important life lesson for them, because they're going to one day be in situations where they're going to disagree with somebody or not agree with their teacher or something like that. So it's important for kids to see how parents actually can differ but work through and resolve those issues.
All right, it's good advice as always. Dr. Rick Brown, always great to see you. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Great to be with you. Thank you.
All right.